How do you renovate your dream apartment in The Sims 4? Well, sit back and let me show you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. You're watching Just a Mom That Sims. I'm KT, and I'm here today for another Sims 4 apartment remodel. This is a Sims 4 city living apartment. So, if you like to have fun and you like a good story, please consider liking, subscribing, following, commenting. Just do all the things. So, I am playing my Herd Family Legacy series, and if you've been watching, Manny is Generation 6, and he was living in a little apartment in the city, and I posted the renovation here, and it came out really nice, but he has had dreams of being in a deluxe apartment in the sky. And now he's here. However, we got this 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom apartment, but it was really plain, really well built, but plain. So we are going to spice it up, put some color in it. And I am redoing the walls as well. And I didn't lose my recording this time, or that part of it. So you can see that I'm undoing the walls because the 2 bedrooms at the back, because this is the side that's not the master bedrooms, I'm actually making them bigger. And in addition to the 4 bedrooms, I feel like we have enough room to have an office, so I'm creating that. I'm actually going to put a floating bathroom because this bathroom was designed really interestingly and up against the windows, and I am going to keep a little piece in the center on the windows, but I want to use the big beautiful view windows for the bedrooms. So yeah, you can see me redoing a lot. Now on the other side with the master bedroom with the ensuite bath, I am changing less, but I am going to do some of my I don't want to call it iconic because that's a little that's putting too much on it, but I am doing some of my angle walls. If you've been around, you know I love to build with an angle wall, so I'm doing that. We've got a 4 tile bathroom up front. I'm actually changing it to 3.5 tiles just to get the slanted wall there. Now what I'm gonna do is the living room area. I actually think I really like the layout, but the separator between the living room and the dining area, I'm gonna put a half wall, but it's gonna be taller than a half wall, but I still call it a half wall either way. But I wanted to have some good separation, and I used this bookshelf that was up here as a good measure indicator. This apartment actually came with a lot of bookshelves, so I'm definitely deleting it. What I'm gonna do is go room by room and start remodeling, deciding what I'm gonna keep. Now where the couches and sofas are, that little wall, that half wall around them, I'm gonna keep that because I actually like it. It feels like it gives you a little bit of privacy, so I'm gonna keep it. Now in the kitchen, I changed the walls immediately, but I don't like it. So I do like this dark blue color, not realizing that it's really close to the blue that's in the hall. This one has a white trim, but I've just been kind of on greens and blues lately in my builds and remodels. So yeah, I'm going to do that. In the office, you see I use this Pleasantville wallpaper that comes with the Sixum collaborated storybook nursery kit. And in the bedroom, I really struggle because I wanted this one wallpaper, and I really like the hardwood floors with the blue in them, but I thought they looked a little too worn to go in an apartment this fancy. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tone the apartment down from the original build as far as how fancy it feels, but I do want it to feel fancy steel. And the bathrooms, I'm gonna go with these grays to offset the blue, but in each bedroom I'm gonna pick a color. So one bedroom might be pink or purple, one might be maybe burnt oranges, because a lot of colors will go with gray. But yeah, so I put a shower in. I'm putting this another half wall, a tall one, to put a toilet and have a separator. But as I think about it, I think I'm going to go back and use the sleek bathroom kit because I'm going to put a shower in, and then just like this toilet comes from it, and then I'm going to put one of those glass partitions. So I probably back the wall up. I spent way too much time in this bathroom. I'm going to put a cabinet on the other side of that sink. All of the doors in this apartment are 2 tile doors, so I'm going to switch them out with these really nice 1 tile doors that I found. We got some really cheap nice 1 tile doors, but I think these were a little little more expensive at $100, but the two tile doors I had were more expensive. Later on in the bill, I am going to add $5,000 because my goal was we had about 4,000 and to 5,000 left when we moved in, and I was going to sell what's in here that I don't need, and what I get back from wallpaper, everything, and use it to decorate. And it was working really well. I wasn't going to run out of money, but what I realized is to be a furnished apartment, it was sold to us as new furniture. When I went to sell some of the stuff, it was still selling way below its original value. So what I did do was add a total of $7,000 just to have my funds even out, because I also was like, they're gonna be, maybe have $2,000 left at the rate I'm going, but I wanted them to have really what they deserve from selling the stuff back. I didn't want them to have any extra. So I think when I finished this complete bill after adding the 7,000, I think I had like 12,000 simoleons left. I actually came out better than I came in before I even added back the money that we lost on the new furniture. So yeah, now in the living room, we had a basement clutter kit and I really liked it, but I actually ended up going to these couches that come from the cats and dogs kit. I like this high back chair, but I really want a rocking chair, and I think there is one in the Storybook nursery kit that is really good, so I'm gonna default to it instead of what I was doing at first. Now I'm gonna go on to rug placements, because this rug that came here, I changed it to blue and I really like it, but when I got to this gray rug, I was gonna switch them out and realized I like them layered. Now this table is from pets, or really cats and dogs as well. I like it, but I was trying to see, did I want it in blue or did I want it in gray? Because in the front room I started to do some offset colors, but ended up saying that the blue on blue looked good to me as long as it had the gray highlights. Now I am going to stick with this fireplace because I wanted something nice. Now this TV is actually slightly smaller than the other one, even though it's more expensive, but it's a curved TV, so I'm switching it out. This apartment actually came with some really nice furniture. It's not super cluttered, which they usually don't do when they build, so it loads good on any computer, in case you didn't know that. But the stuff that was in here was expensive. I do like this rug up front. I know I want to put an umbrella rack and stuff like that. Now this is a rug I'm going to stick to. Now I don't use it a lot, and it's one of those rugs that have some weird swatches, just like those rugs that we can use for the splash pads. They have some really nice swatches that work indoors as well. Now me trying to find a little hallway table took me a ridiculously long amount of time, and I ultimately narrowed it down between these two, and I really had to put some thought into it, and I struggled, but I kept looking anyway. So ultimately I'm gonna go with the white one, because I was thinking that the other one is like you sitting stuff in it. I'm gonna leave this stack of books. Whoever built this obviously likes books. I do too in real life, but I don't need to put them this many in the apartment. And then I think those little wall art came from For Rent pack, so it looks great. Now the kitchen, this is going to be a big task because I actually like the layout for the most part, so I just need to find the cabinets that I really want to use, and then I'm going to systematically replace the cabinets that are here one by one while making the few changes that I want, because I definitely know in this center island I want to make it with island cabinets. Now that's one of the times you saw me add back, because I realized these cabinets cost 315 simoleons, and when I was selling them it was only giving me 240. It was crazy. So yeah, I'm like, no, but I want to use island, like the sit down island counters, and you see I want to do some round edges because that's just another thing I do all the time. Now I'm not going to use this one as a table like for seating, but sometimes I would have probably made that whole thing a oval and just put seating all around it like a giant table. That's another trick. If there's not a table the size you want in the Sims, or that looks exactly like you want, do it with the sit down island counters. So I'm going to go ahead and replace these. Now I am going to put some on different stools with these, and you can see, if you can really tell, what I'm adding here is literally like $160 what I calculated the difference in the counters to be. Finally, once I realized that's what it was doing, I was like, let me just add 5,000 for the entire bill. And yeah, it is like selling the furniture or like a credit for buying the apartment. So we really enjoy it. Now our rent is $3,500 a week in this apartment, and I think it might be a little cheaper. I don't know if it's like for rent, if it'll change, because the stuff I put in here is really nice, but it's definitely cheaper than the original items. So I don't know if it changes based on what's in here or not, or if it's a set rate for city living. In the for rent pack, it changes based on your lot value and what you have in the apartment, things like that. So I am going to do some cabinets. Now these are life and death counters and cabinets, by the way. I do like them, but as I put them in, I'm like, this is too much gray at the top, because at the bottom counters they have a blue accent like a marble top. So what I'm gonna do is go to I call it the ice cream pack, but I don't know what it's called. Cool kitchen stuff, maybe. I could be making that part up. Anyway, they've got some blue cabinets, and I'm just gonna stick a couple in. You see how I put one over the refrigerator, and for the tall cabinet as well. I want to do that. I am gonna come back at the end and put some more appliances. I'm gonna switch these wall lights out that they had, and yeah, at this point I'm just adding the money that they're shorting me, but I still have about 15,000 simoleons. Again, I really made good money selling. Even the desk and stuff in this apartment were expensive, so I really like that. The one thing I will spend money on for my Sims is a good bed. So I drifted a little, but I'm gonna go into, this is bedroom, what I call number 2. Is the one connected to the master bedroom. So I'm gonna do purples and grays in this bedroom. I'm going to go ahead and use some black highlights where I need it. This bed we actually got when we had a free Sims delivery DX drop or whatever it's called. Yeah, and I really like it, and you have a twin size version of it too, which reminds me, in bedroom number 3 I'm gonna put twin beds, because all the other bedrooms will have full size beds. So I'm gonna connect them so that they look like a full bed, but that means 2 Sims will sleep in them side by side, even if they don't know each other well. So that's gonna be great. We may actually run some giveaways out of here if we can. It's like, instead of having regular family reunions and stuff, we could just do them like a 2-day getaway. I'm not building it to specifically have getaways. So if we can't do it in the apartments, then that'll be fine as well. So I am putting this dresser this is from the Storybook Nursery kit again. One of my favorite kits. I'm going to hang baby clothes in here because in the last episode, guys, we talked about a really heavy topic for a lot of couples and individuals, and we talked about fertility issues. And, you know, some people have to deal with that and also have fertility issues. And then, of course, there are people that just don't want kids, which is just fine. But I thought it was important to talk about it because in The Sims, we can have babies. Now, one thing that does happen, even without mods, you don't always 100% of the time get pregnant when you try for a baby. But most of the time you do. I think the default rate is set at something like 85%. But anyway, Kayleigh and Manny they cannot get pregnant. They've been trying for a few years. And yeah, Kayleigh was a little bit resistant to go get testing to see what's going on, but Manny just went on by himself and did find out he has a low fertility count. So yeah, we don't know how Kayleigh's doing. We talked about this last episode, but we definitely know that Manny has some issues with that, but it's not non-existent. So that leaves them open to extra options. They also talked at the end of the last episode that even if they have biological children, they would like to adopt too. Kayleigh has been a sim on her own for a lot of years, guys, and she wants a huge family. So this is going to be the first generation that I play in a long time that just has a buttload of kids, and I can't wait because I just haven't. Manny has two siblings. His parents were adopting because his mom just didn't want to be pregnant again when she found out she was pregnant. She did have another late life pregnancy, and they made, a tough decision to take care of that so that they weren't starting over at an old age and leaving that baby for their babies to raise. So this is our living room. We're doing our walkthrough finally. Yeah, it took me a few hours to renovate this apartment. It's a huge apartment. It's bigger than most houses I built. I will say that. Every bedroom is huge. So look at the sunflower pictures. That's a picture that I love, but over that bed, it looks perfect. So that bed actually comes from Cat and Dogs too. I finally got it because y'all, the build buy in the world are amazing. Y'all told me that. Y'all tried to tell me. But anyway, this is the master bathroom, and you can see how I came back and did that shower, mostly using the sleek bathroom kit for that bathroom. Now this is the room next to it, and it will probably be the first room we convert into our first child's room because we just got this purple in here, but I think it'll be an easy room to convert over and close to us. So this is our tiny 3.5 tile bathroom. It was 4 when we moved in, and it didn't have a shower, so we actually put a shower in it and made it smaller. And then as you walk over, this is our kitchen. You can see I used the kitchen clutter kit quite a bit in there. This is our dining room. I did put a piano in here because I think that Kayleigh would like to start learning the piano. You see the doctor poster because Manny's a doctor. Smooth touch, right? This is the other room, and the cinematic camera cut off the pictures that I have over the beds. This is the third bathroom, and it is a big bathroom, guys. So you can see I put partitions, and you got a shower and a tub. It's all like a big walk-in area. This is the last bedroom, and y'all, we've been using it as a junk room. You see we got boxes of stuff everywhere. The cinematic camera is wigging out on me. I apologize, but we also use it as a workout room because you see we got weights and a spin bike in the mirror. Y'all, those floors would not let me change the color, so I guess that's the thing with this build, this apartment. It wouldn't let me do it even after I logged in and back out. That's gonna end our walkthrough. Also, that picture on the wall in that last bedroom, Kayleigh found a picture of like her great grandmother, and we put that up. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this renovation, and until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.